Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the depths of my basement. And welcome back to the Seven Smushed Eggy channel. Today I'm going to be ranking all the Evanescence albums, and this includes EPs and some of the covers that they did, because they did a lot of covers, so I don't know if I'm gonna catch all of them, but we'll see. As a huge Evanescence geeker, it's going to be kind of a long video. I'm not only going to be talking about Origin, so strap yourself in. But I'm also not going to be talking about the EPs that repeat tracks that other EPs/albums have already covered, so I'm not going to be talking about Mystery or In the Shadows, just so y'all know. I didn't forget about them, it's just they're kind of redundant when they're having repeat tracks, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, so first things first, we have to talk about the 1998 EP, the self-titled Evanescence. They're gonna end up doing this again for 2011. It's not slick. Y'all already have a self-titled. I'm kidding. That's not even funny, dude. Whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and give it an A because I actually really like old Evanescence like this. They really have that gothic sound that I really miss in the more modern albums. It's kind of missing altogether now, but they used to have this super like gothic rock sound. And yeah, it's a little cringy, it's a little edgy, but like it wasn't ever to the point of cringe where it made you like make a face, you know what I'm saying? Like she had very beautiful and poetic lyrics when she was really young. And I know she kind of like tends to lock those old songs in a box and like she's embarrassed of them or whatever, but I actually really like them. And she used to have so much like romantic sappy songs too, and I love them so much. And like, yeah, it's very raw, very, I guess, unprofessional at this stage of Evanescence, but it's definitely not bad. Like, I've listened to this EP multiple times. Like, Understanding is probably my favorite track on this album. It's like a 7-minute gothic masterpiece. And, like, I don't know, as someone with depression, I don't know, I just really related to her lyrics and, like, the way she portrayed them with her vocals and stuff, and like the droning out of the, I think it's called a harpsichord, right? Like the fucking church piano. It just fits the whole gothic vibe so well. And I don't know, I kind of wish tracks like that and like Where Will You Go kind of got remastered, because I'd definitely like to see a modern take on it, because I don't know. And So Close, dude, that song never gets talked about again. Like it never comes back, and that song's awesome. The next EP. Damn! Oh my god. Hi, guys. Oh, it's staying. Okay. The next EP is Sound Asleep, which came out in 1999, so 1 year afterwards. This one has a lot less tracks, and it also has Understanding again. But it has Give Unto Me and Forgive Me, and those two songs alone just make me want to give it an A. So I'm gonna do that. Just very sweet songs. It's also carrying on that gothic vibe again. And I don't know. I really, really like this era of Evanescence. Don't really have much to say about this because it's kind of like what I said about the 1998 one. But I like where they're going. And don't want to spoil my next opinion. Also, I lied to all of you. I'm going to be covering In the Shadows because I realized that there are some songs on In the Shadows that aren't in the other EPs I'm going to cover. So let me just go ahead and give this one an S. This one is my favorite EP. I don't know, it's just awesome. I like It Was All a Lie. Like, people might confuse Lies from Origin and It Was All a Lie, but they are completely like two different songs. Also, Breathe No More, classic. I'm really glad that one got redone. And Before the Dawn. Dude, she had, like, when I was talking about the romantic sappy songs, that's one of them, and that one is awesome. It makes me want to, like, melt and run away forever, so S. In the Shadows is amazing. I don't know if In the Shadows is an official EP. You didn't find it on the wiki, but there is a compilation of it on YouTube. Okay, so now we're gonna bring up the EP that everyone probably knows, which is Origin, which came out in 2000, the year I was born. It was for me, guys. Just kidding. Unpopular opinion, gonna give it an A. The versions of My Immortal and I mean that's basic. Oh, and Whisper, and Imaginary, do not really like these versions in comparison to the Fallen ones. I know, hot take. And I don't really like how Amy decided to choose Even in Death as her remaster in Lost Whispers later on. Kind of wish she did Field of Innocence or like literally any of the other songs. I still like Even in Death, but I don't know. This one like feels more like an actual album, and it has a lot more tracks, and you can see the inspirations for Fallen. The inspirations for Fallen, We Stand Getting Cut Off, like, you know, every video. Classic Ayumi video. I don't know. I bought this album when I got it for my 13th birthday. And it has that raw energy that I love. And like it has my sappy songs like Anywhere. That song is so adorable. And I don't know. My favorite song on this album is definitely Field of Innocence. And I do like how they're really finding themselves on this album. But I don't know, definitely not my favorite EP. Still really good, still very much recommend it to any hardcore Evanescence fans such as myself. But yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a solid A. In case y'all were wondering where my Dance Gavin Dance tapestry is, it's currently on my closet. She's not looking so good. She's not in the best position, but it is what it is for right now. So anyways, so this is the first studio album now, Fallen, 2003. Toddler IU was shaking in her boots. This one is definitely an S rank. I mean, this is the beloved Evanescence album, and for a good reason. It has my all-time favorite song, Going Under, and it has the best singles probably that they've ever released. Everybody's Fool, Going Under, Bring Me to Life, and My Immortal. Like, you can't really beat those fucking singles. Those are all iconic. Everyone knows those songs. Maybe not so much for Everybody's Fool, but like, and the music videos were awesome. The songs themselves are fucking badass. What can I say? It's a really well put together album. Definitely not perfect though. There's some cringe in it. Very edgy. Like when she screams, I want to die in Tourniquet. But you know what? The cringe in Fallen is very charming and very endearing. Like besides that screamo part in Tourniquet, it's so like literally you don't even notice the cringe half the time. And again, she's super poetic here, and she still has that gothic oomph that I really like about her in Old Evanescence. And yeah, like I really like everything instrumentally. I like every single song on this album. I really like how she changed them from the origin versions because like I'm sorry, they're just much better in Fallen. And yeah, like every track is super good, and even the underrated tracks like Haunted and Hello, they're really good. And Taking Over Me, like solid. Solid as fuck. S. And even though I really dislike Bring Me to Life, that's probably like on my bottom tier of songs, I can't deny how iconic and how well it fits into this album. I mean, I've definitely grown to hate it with time because it's just the song that's like the only Evanescence song that anyone ever knows, and it's like, dude, that is not their best song. Well, that's just like whatever. It's not gonna change my ranking on the album. And honestly, like going back to Hello, that song gave me like dead ass goosebumps when I first listened to it because like just the raw sadness in that track, dude. Like she was so like brave for putting that out there. Like honestly, like I don't think she's ever sang it live, but even studio recorded, it's just such a beautiful song. Probably one of her best ballads like to date. Okay, so the next album, Anywhere But Home, 2004, it was basically their live album. Y'all already know. I'm gonna give this an F, a solid F. This is the laziest, most cash grabby, worst live album I have ever heard in my life. Like, the only reason you would ever buy this thing is for the, like, you get like a cute little DVD set with like behind the scenes and the music videos and all that cute stuff. And the only other reason besides that is for a collector's item. The actual like CD portion with the music is fucking unlistenable. And it's like such I don't think Amy like had any say as to like selling this thing, but it's fucking garbage. Like, it's inexcusable that they recorded this and they thought like people could listen to it. Like, whenever it comes on shuffle, I want to kill myself. I know that sounds harsh, but as someone who's heard such amazing live albums like the Seether One Cold Night one and the Dance Gavin Trees, oh my god, Dance Gavin Dance Tree City Sessions albums, I know it's possible to make a really cool and amazing live album. It's just this one, this Evanescence one, sounds like some random dude went into one of their concerts and recorded it on their phone and then tried to sell it as an album. Like, you get ear raped by the audience, the quality is abysmal, and it's just she doesn't really sound that good in it. Because like back then Amy used to like be really crazy up on stage, so she would use all her stamina, so her vocals weren't as strong. They weren't bad, but it's just not a good live album. And I'm gonna be mad if I keep talking about it. So we're just gonna give it an F. uh the biggest plus side is the song Missing, but it's irrelevant because Lost Whispers comes out. Also, I really love the DVD set, but there's this one part that really bothers me where the whole band, they're obviously drunk or like on drugs or something. And they like vandalize this whole hotel room with like McDonald's, and they start like playing baseball with like the fucking burgers and shit, and like totally like making a mess of the hotel room. And like I just thought that was super asshole-ish, and I don't know why they would put that for the public to see, because that just didn't make them look really good. Like, I know it was all in good fun, and I hope that they cleaned up afterwards, because like holy shit, why would y'all do that? But it just really didn't make them look good. And like there's also these weird parts where Amy's like really fucking drunk and like the rest of the band are being like weird towards her. I don't like it. Those portions are weird. Do not get why they sold those or like even put those on it, because the rest of it's really cute. But that's just a side note. I love how it's making the fucking the fucking bags sparkle. That's hilarious. Ooh, baby. I'm so beautiful. Oh my god. Anyways, now it's the Open Door 2006, my magnum opus, SS. This is gonna be the only Evanescence album that gets an SS. This is a perfect album from front to back. There's literally nothing wrong with it. It's literally like every single song is awesome. The whole theme. This is like probably the most gothic, the most awesome album they've ever released, and it blew me away. This is what actually got me into Evanescence. I was 6 years old when it came out, and when I saw her on the cover, I was just instantly mesmerized by how beautiful she looked. Like, I was in awe. And then I listened to her voice. I remember distinctly listening to Lithium for the first time as a kid, and I was like floored. Absolutely floored. This album is perfect. And y'all can argue all you want with me, but it's fucking perfect. Instrumentally, vocally, lyrically, everything. And I don't understand why this album gets kind of shit on. Like, the reviews were kind of like meh. And I'm like, do y'all have ears? Because y'all need to clean them out if you do. Because this album is fucking phenomenal. Hands down the best thing I've ever heard in my life. Literal eargasm. It's awesome. And suck my balls. SS. Now it's time for self-titled again, 2011. This is when they kind of took a while to make an album. This is when they start to lose the gothic stuff, and this is when they're starting to enter their what the fuck am I talking about? They're starting to enter their modern phase that I'm not a huge fan of. This album was excusable because it does have some banger tracks like The Change and Say You Will and The Other Side, even though those two are kind of the same fucking song. But there's some weird songs on here that are making me wrinkle my nose. Like, what the fuck is What You Want? And Secret Door? And Swimming Home? What the fuck is that? That's all I'm gonna say. But I don't know. I can't bring myself to hate this album, so I'm gonna give it a B. To be honest with you, I'm gonna give it a B because even though there's some questionable songs, I can appreciate she was trying to be experimental because she was learning the harp, so obviously she's gonna put some weird harp songs in it. And you know what? Good for her, bro. Those songs suck balls, but I mean, she tried, and she gets a gold star for that. And again, there's some really cool songs on this album, like End of the Dream too, and Erase This. Like, she goes crazy on those songs. But this is also when the cringe, like actual cringe, it's not charming anymore, starts to kick in. Like, My Heart Is Broken, like even the title alone is like, okay, we're going into emo territory, you know what I'm saying? And instead of being as poetic as she used to be, she gets a lot more literal, and it's kind of disappointing because I know that she's capable of making some really poetic and beautiful lyrics. And I don't know if she just started to become a lot more broad at this point to have a bigger audience. But it just doesn't really make sense to me because people really liked stuff like Fallen, which is by far like the most poetic ever, and The Open Door. Like, people were kind of staying for that, and like when this album came out, like this is when Evanescence popularity kind of started to go wow wow whoopsie, you know what I mean? Like it's not as good as it used to be. And also, this is the trend that is starting to happen when Evanescence takes a really long time to make new music, and then when they finally do, it's kind of disappointing because it feels like they're losing touch with themselves and what made them great, and also their audience. Which, yeah, don't suck up to your audience. Don't suck up to your audience, but also don't just like make random like weird pop songs. Like, huh? Y'all were a goth band and now it's like weird poppy rock and y'all are losing that gothic vibe, you know what I'm saying? But this is definitely where the switch up started to happen. But I still like this album. I grew up with it. Like I said, I was 11 years old when it came out. So I do have some bias towards it. I know it's not that good in comparison to their other stuff. But I don't know. B. Evanescence Synthesis. Oh my god. Let me put my phone down. Damn, I look like a caveman. Anyways, 2017, I was really excited when this came out because I thought it was going to be like a whole new album finally after 6 years. No, it's just a remaster of like a lot of their old songs, which are cool. I do prefer the original version, so you don't really catch me listening to the synthesis versions, but they are really cool, and I think it's cool that she kind of like freshened them up, made them new. And then the two new songs on this album, really love High Low. I saw that live and I got literal goosebumps. But Imperfection, Amy, please don't rap. Stop. Never again. You're banned from rapping. And that track alone gives this album a C. Because I was actually getting really scared with that song. I'm like, what is she gonna do? Like, if y'all thought F3 she was straying from the genre, she goes full rapper mode in Imperfection and then mixes it with her crazy vocals, and it just does not work. That song is, and it also has very cringy lyrics. Very cringy lyrics. Like I said, I was very worried for the future of Evanescence when that song came out because she made that song and made a whole music video. She was obviously very proud of it, and she held it on her chest. And I'm like, oh hell no. I better not be hearing songs like that on the newest album. Because I don't know how I'm gonna feel about Evanescence anymore, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a C for me. It's not a bad album, but Imperfection is terrible. One of their worst songs ever. And I don't listen to it. It's kind of just like a waste of space to me. You know, like it didn't need to exist, kind of thing. The long awaited bitter truth that took a decade to come out. 11-year-old IU has become 21 when this finally decided to drop. And let me tell you, it was the biggest disappointment I've ever heard in my life. I'm giving this album... See, I have a lot of mixed feelings about this album because I don't hate it, but I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be really harsh, and I think I'm gonna... Like, after listening to it for a really long time, I've had differing opinions each time listening to it. Collectively, as a whole, this album is a C, and probably their worst album, in my opinion. Like, even worse than F3. I know, crazy. But this was so disappointing. I waited a whole decade thinking they would get it together, and no. There's just so many things wrong with this album. Like, the production on F3 was kind of questionable. The mixing was not very good. But the bitter truth somehow finds a way to even have worse production and worse mixing. I can't even hear what the fuck Amy is saying half the time on this album. Her vocals are so muddy. And it's like, dude, the reason why people listen to Evanescence isn't for the instrumental or the fucking drums. Like, the drums in particular are ear rapey in this fucking album. I don't give a fuck about drums. But people are listening to Amy because Amy has a phenomenal voice, and you can't even hear it half the time in this goddamn album. It sounds like one of their first albums, like in their fucking basement or something. It sounds like they recorded it on a fucking HP laptop or some shit. Like, how come their APs are mixed... AP? Glob, bro. Oh my glob. How come their EPs are mixed better than a studio recorded album from a band that has been around for decades? Like, riddle me this, bro. This is unexcusable. It's disgusting. Like, how did they take such a step back? Like, y'all made us wait a decade and you released something that sounds like you recorded it on this Android that I'm using right now? You're kidding me. It's embarrassing. It's abysmal. It's diabolical, even. And putting that aside, which is very difficult to do because you hear shit like The Open Door where she's so clear and eargasmic in your ears and shit, and you go to this, it's like, you got me fucked up. You're crazy. You're disgusting me right now with this. Stop it. But pushing that aside, let me talk about the positives. Despite this mess of an album, there are some very beautiful songs. Feeding the Dark, by far, is the best song on this album, and probably one of the only songs that I listen to from this album consistently. Such a beautiful song. And also, Blind Belief is one of my favorite songs on this album, and I carry that with me. That's a very beautiful song and has little fragments of what made Evanescence so great. Little fragments. And that song's underrated as hell. It's very good. And I really like the opening track with Broken Pieces Shine. Those two are very good. But other than that, I'm gonna have to be dunking on this album because those 4 tracks right there that I just mentioned are probably one of the only positives. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This album by far has the most abysmal songs on it. Yeah, right. It's extremely cringe. I'm sorry, like, holy shit. Like, the lack of self-awareness in that song is just wow. And what was it called? Use My Voice. The whole political thing, dude, like, dude, I'm not trying to listen to Evanescence to have some weird political statement. So cringy, and it's like, it doesn't, like, who cares? Like, it's such a nothing song, you know what I mean? Like, I like the message behind it, obviously, and I support that, but, like, relax. Stop pandering. That's such a pandering song. Like, look, I'm everyone, I'm on everyone's side kind of song. And like, ew. And just the theming of this album, like, there's too many angry songs. Like, this album is so heavy with anger, which, be a girl boss, Amy, good for you. But it's just all the same. They're all saying the same thing. Besides Far From Heaven, which is her weakest ballad, which I know is harsh, but it is her weakest ballad that she's ever written. I'm sorry. Like, even Lost in Paradise is a better ballad. And I don't know, it's like there's not enough balance. There's no balance, it's just consistent angy, 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 fight against whatever, fight against this, fight against that. And it's just like every song is the same. Like even the songs that I don't hate, like Take Cover and Better Without You and shit, like and Part of Me and stuff, it's just they're all saying the same thing. Like literally Broken Pieces Shine and Part of Me are the same song. They're saying the same message. It's all saying like this shit weighs me down and I'm not doing so good right now, but it's not going to define me. That's literally the whole album. Like I'm not going to succumb to this shitty feeling. Which it's a good message, but like when it's the theme of every single song, it kind of defeats the point and it becomes extremely redundant. And also another comparison, Yeah Right and Better Without You are the exact same song. The only difference is Better Without You does it better. Like, Yeah Right is abysmal and Better Without You is passable. And I don't know, it's just a really big letdown. And I don't want to say it's lazy because I know that she probably worked really hard. But it's just when you look at any other album, they did have themes. I'm not saying they didn't have themes, but they could at least stand out individually. And like you can interpret it a little bit differently. It wasn't so cutthroat as it being the exact same thing. And yes, F3 kind of struggles with this issue too, because like I said previously, Say You Will and The Other Side are basically the same song. But even F3 has those individualistic songs that stand out from each other, even if some of them are suffering from same sound syndrome. Bitter Truth is just like high on same song syndrome, and it's just, I don't know. I tried really hard to like this album. I was defending it really hard, and I don't hate it. That's why I'm giving it like an average ranking, and I know I'm bashing on it really hard, but it's just as someone who really loves Evanescence, I even have a tattoo and everything on my shoulder. I've been liking them since I was a literal like 6-year-old. Uh, it was really disappointing, and I don't like this new direction that they're going in. And I really hope they do work on better production, and it's a disappointing album. It's not good. Oh my god. Do you see it? Oh, see? Peep the tat. Wasn't fucking with y'all. Okay, so now let's be more positive. My throat really hurts. Lost Whispers. This album's really good. It basically takes like all the hidden tracks like Together Again and Missing and all these other songs and it combines them. And this is out. This is an awesome album for any hardcore Evanescence fan that wanted all these tracks on the same album. Not really much to say about it though, so I'm gonna give it an A. I would have given it an S if it didn't include all of the deluxe tracks from the self-titled album, because that just felt really unnecessary and like they were filling up space. So now we're gonna go talk about some of their banger covers, which I probably am missing a lot, but don't give a fuck. Okay, so Sally's song, S. This one made, like, whenever I watch Nightmare Before Christmas now, I just, like, wish it had Amy's version of Sally's song, because she just did such a phenomenal job. And once I saw her live, and she was, like, playing the piano, and then she, like, literally, like, switches over backwards to play her harp. Like, she is so talented. Holy shit. This one's an S. What's another one? Heart-Shaped Box by Nirvana. I feel like people dunk on this cover because she doesn't sound like Kurt. But, I mean, how the fuck is she supposed to sound like Kurt? I actually like the way that she sings it. She kind of takes a unique spin on it instead of just singing it the way that he does. I'm going to give it an S. I kind of like how she sings it. What's another one? Freak on a. Oh my god. Let's just talk about Anywhere But Home, I guess. So, Thoughtless. I do like this version. I'm gonna give it an A though, because I think they kind of do her dirty in the Anywhere But Home version. I would love to see a more like studio cover of this, but I don't know. I don't think that's gonna happen. Whatever. I'm So Lonely, I Could Cry by Johnny Cash. I actually hate country, but I like her version, so I'm gonna give it a B. I don't listen to it that often, but she does a good job. You can see her Arkansas coming out in this song, so good for her. Good for her and her roots, right? Um, what's another one? She's done a shit ton of covers, like holy shit. Freak on a Leash was kind of a duet, but I do like this. I hate the lead singer of Korn's vocals though, so giving it a B because literally only like it because she's there. And since we're talking about duets right now, Broken, obviously an S, got me into Caesar in the first place, so. Then another duet she did was with Hailstorm, Break In. Gonna give it a B. It's nice, but not a huge fan of Hailstorm lead vocalist singer. Her voice is a bit too raspy for me, but it's a very sweet song, and I admired their friendship, so that's awesome. Now going back to actual covers, Across the Universe. Honestly, gonna give it a B. I like Seether's cover of Across the Universe a little bit better, and I think it's weird that they both covered that, but whatever. And I actually completely forgot to review Seether covers in my last thing. My bad. uh And then Cruel Summer, I'm gonna give an A. I actually really like that one. And The Chain, I'm gonna give an A as well. And I think that's all of them. You thought, bitch. There's one where she's with a rapper for some reason. That one's an F. I don't even want to remember the title because it traumatized me. But it exists. And my friend showed it to me, and I wish that he never did. I would have been happier if I didn't know it existed. But yeah, I'm a go because my throat actually really hurts. I've been babbling for like an hour, so hope y'all liked it. Bye!